Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today I'm talking about the movie Jem and the Holograms. And I gotta admit, going into this movie, I was a little bit concerned. I had reviewed the trailer, and I wasn't really sure if I liked the direction it was going in. I typically like movies like this, where it's a pop group or a musician rising to fame. I think that stuff is really fun. But at the same time, it was taking the property of Jem and the Holograms and changing it from everything people who have grown up with it know and love. So I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it, but I'm pleasantly surprised to say that I actually really enjoyed the film. It is very loosely based on Jem and the Holograms. There's a lot of differences, some differences that I think people can get over, and some differences that I think Jem and the Holograms fans might not like. You know, if you are a person who, you know, really loves Jem and the Holograms and does not want to see any changes, you're probably not going to like this film. If you're someone who is more open, you might enjoy it. And for someone who's younger and doesn't really know that much about Jem and the Holograms, I think this could be a great jumping off point to go read the comic book series by IDW, or to actually check out the cartoon from the 80s. You know, even though there is a lot of liberties taken with, you know, Jem and her sisters and their story in general, I do think that it has a lot of the really important themes of sisterhood and being yourself and, you know, empowerment that Jem fans will enjoy. This story follows Aubrey Peeples as a teenage Jerrica Benton. She and her sister Kimber, played by Stefanie Scott, end up moving in with their Aunt Bailey and her foster children, played by Molly Ringwald, Aurora Perrineau, and Hayley Kiyoko, when their dad passes away. And their dad also leaves them a little robot called Synergy that doesn't work. So one day Kimber finds a video that Jerrica filmed on her camera of herself singing, and she posts it on YouTube and it goes viral, and they get contacted by Erica Raymond, who is the big executive from Starlight Enterprises who wants to make Jem a star. Right away we can see that there's a lot of differences just even in this initial story compared to the original Jem cartoon from the 80s. In that one, Jerrica was, you know, half owner of Starlight. It was her dad who owned the company, and Synergy was a supercomputer that projected holograms over the girls so that they could turn into their alter egos, the members of this Jem and the Holograms band. None of that is in this movie. It's more about Jerrica kind of learning how to stand up for herself and figure out who she is, and not just be content with being quiet and never showing the world what she can do. And there's also this storyline going on where Aunt Bailey is about to lose their house, and she ends up doing this mainly because she wants to save their family and, you know, get the money so that they can stay in their home and stay together. One of my favorite parts of this film was the sisterhood and the friendship and how close the girls all were. They really did seem to have, you know, this really great chemistry and bond that you can't really fake. You know, it looked like they were having a great time. I have seen a lot of finger pointing at this film, saying there's a lot of stereotypes about the music industry and a lot of cliches that were used. And I do think there were some, but I also think at the heart of it, there was some different things in this film that we haven't seen in maybe some other films about, you know, pop groups and things like that. I feel like in a typical movie like this, you have the character of Jerrica, Jem, and at some point that person becomes obsessed with the fame and really pushes everyone out of their lives and you know, forgets about who they truly are. And I think this is a film that's kind of the opposite of that, where Jerrica doesn't think that she knows who she is, but really she has known all along, and that is someone who is always thinking about her dream and her family together. You know, she is never like, let me push my family aside because I'm a star now, and she ends up making a mistake. But I really kind of liked how, you know, we never saw the fame go to Jem's head, which I think is different from other films like this. One of the most biggest and obvious differences in this film, though, is Synergy. In this one, Synergy is actually a robot that Kimber and Jerrica's dad created for them, and there's a secret message involved. All the girls end up going on adventures to figure out what it is that Jerrica's dad was trying to tell them. And there's this really sweet father-daughter moment at the end related to what they finally found out, and I thought it was really cute. I will admit right now, I was crying, it was emotional, and I loved every second of it. This film also has really big themes of the internet and technology, and I think they made a lot of really interesting choices in including that. When Jem and the Holograms came out as a cartoon in the 80s, it really reflected the time that it was in, and I think that this movie is trying to do that now as well, you know, with all of the references to technology and social media. This film, I think, really talks about how you know, technology can connect people in ways that are kind of unexpected. It starts out where Gem is this big mystery, but in the end she starts to connect with fans about how much her music means to them and how much she's changed their lives. There's also this interesting connection because of synergy between Jerrica and her dad. There's also a really interesting use of viral video in this film where they take it and they use it as a soundtrack to score different scenes. I want to add that I did think it was pretty interesting that Christy Marks, who actually created Gem and the Holograms, said that she had no connection with the film, had no input or anything. She actually ended up making a cameo appearance, and I believe there was also an appearance from a couple of the other people who voiced Gem in the cartoon. So I thought that was kind of interesting to hear, considering there was supposed to be, you know, a big disconnect between them and the people who created this movie. The end credit scene had to be my favorite because we finally got to see the Misfits. And I think the casting choice for that was excellent. They looked so cool, they were very edgy. You had Kesha as Pizzazz, Anna Mae Lee from Pitch Perfect as Roxy, Katie Finley from How to Get Away with Murder as Stormer, and you had Isa Gonzalez as Jetta. Now this movie is supposed to serve as kind of a prequel or an introduction to Gem and the Holograms, and if they were to make another movie, we would definitely be seeing a Misfits versus the Gem and the Holograms. My overall thoughts on this film were that it was very different from Gem and the Holograms, but I still enjoyed it. I would love to see a sequel with the Misfits. I think they did a really great job with the music. I thought it was fun. I think that it's definitely geared towards a younger audience. I would love to know what you guys thought about Gem and the Holograms. Make sure to leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and if you like my videos, make sure to click that subscribe button because I come out with new ones every week. See ya!